Suzanne. What is that Seva Stuff?
Oh, Kate, I thought you'd never ask. Today, What's That Seva Stuff is being held on the auspicious day of Dr. Venkataswamy's birth anniversary. He was born in 1918, died in 2006. This is what Dr. V looked like when he was a young man in the Army, thought he was going into obstetrics, and for a number of life change reasons went into ophthalmology. He assembled a team. This was the team back in 1983 of key members of his own family. We've got doctors, engineers, and managers. This would be, of course, our often board member and advisor, Tulsi Raj. And there's Dr. V. And this is that same group about 30 years later. This was part of a large Fast Company article on Aravind that Larry Brilliant organized a year or two before Dr. V died. Many of you have seen this picture that comes out of Seva's origins. And of course, here's Dr. V. He was at our founding meeting and at this meeting a year later in California, just in Mill Valley. And this is a scene, I have lots of these pictures of Dr. V and I sitting at meetings and us going over the agenda and kind of working out what's next, because this was one organized guy and we did a lot of travel together to a lot of meetings all over the place. As did David Green. David did a tremendous amount of traveling with Dr. V, and this was back in the early 80s. And I know that because by 1985, Dr. V always had a big computer monitor over his shoulder in the place of where that large air conditioner is today. This picture is probably from 1983. Very important is the convening Dr. V did for the Aravind Institute of Community Ophthalmology, which Ram Das attended. There's me back there, David Green, a number of other Seva members. Some of our first volunteers to Aravind were part of that meeting that launched that institute, which today is the Lions Aravind Institute of Community Ophthalmology. And Dr. V was a constant traveler. There's me at the time, here's Dr. V. Anywhere we were within 1,000 miles of Aravind partner, he wanted to go visit. So here we are visiting the very early days of the Lumbini Eye Institute. And this is Professor Rod Watkins, with whom we work on camera technology today. And some of you will recognize some nice oldie goldie Seva staff. And here's Mr. Shravan Chowdhury, for example. Flipping on to California, Dr. V travels to Seva board meetings, picture of Jahanara Ramni and our first Aravind volunteer, Dr. Tom Carlson, chatting up Dr. V outside the TP Circle at Black Oak Ranch in Mendocino County. And then Dr. V inside a Seva board meeting. He probably spent in the last 50 days under the big top at Camp and Rainbow for Seva meetings. And they also attended, of course, many meetings right here in Berkeley. Here's a shot. Some of us will recognize that wall is the color of the MIG conference room just down 5th Street from the Seva office. And Dr. V also liked to have fun. So here he is with some of the Seva kids and our Native American Community Health Program head at that time. Dr. V used these meetings and coming to the States for a lot of relationship building and friendship continuation. Of course, a deep friendship was his with our board member, Jerry Jones. A little home shot of Dr. V with my son, Mike, back in the day. This was only 30 years ago. And Dr. V did a lot more than being the first person in the world to do 100,000 cataract surgeries and start the world's largest institution. He had a lot more interest than that, including in art. So here we are in Berlin during a big eye meeting, and he looked at the agenda and he said, you know, I think we could skip the first hour. Why don't we hop out during the lunch period and go to this big museum that's just on the other side of Berlin? So away we went, along with our then Nepal program director, Binay Dakwa, father of our Parmi Dakwa. I have to give you this picture because Dr. V loved food. Now, some of you have seen interviews where he talks about McDonald's, but he also, whenever he was going to travel to a country, He wanted to know about their food. So he was on his way to a big meeting in Italy, and I knew that there was a visiting doctor from Italy at Aravind. He said, oh, I would love to talk with her. And I thought, oh, he wants to grill her on the cataract surgical rate in Italy. He's going to want to find out their current cataract surgery technique. No, he wanted her to write down for him in very clear English how to pronounce the names of some Italian dishes. So when he was there and people would ask what he'd like to eat, he could give them a number of vegetarian options. Of course, this being a beautiful caprese salad. And this picture means a lot to us. Deborah and Chunduk were at this meeting where this photo was taken. This was the last meeting Dr. V ever attended in 2006, several weeks before he died. And it was the meeting hosted by Aravind, but organized by Seva to launch the Global Site Initiative. Suffice it to say, he had not attended a meeting in 5 months. And he got out of his hospital bed and he came there to be with us for our meeting. We were astonished and we were very, very honored and grateful. I just wanted us to reflect on Dr. G. Venkataswamy on the date of his birth. That's That Seva Stuff.
Hey, thanks, Suzanne. That was so amazing.
There's a lot more where that came from. Stay tuned on our social media channels for more.